Yeah, my name is Zip Duncan, and this is my final PowerPoint for our class. And what I wanted to talk about today was just some tips for running a successful athletic program. First of all, I think we should talk about kind of what some of the goals of high school athletics are. I mean, obviously, when you're participating in athletics, you want to win and be competitive and do all that. But I feel like at that age, there's some different things we're trying to accomplish because the majority of those athletes won't go on to play in college or professional level. So I think high school athletics should help to reinforce values that are important in life and that you're going to be learning, in school at the time, such as commitment, dedication, hard work, communication, and teamwork. I think one thing, throughout my life in sports, just being on teams, you learn to work with a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, races, socioeconomic statuses. You're dedicated to a goal, a task as a team. You're obviously working hard. You practice the majority of the time and you're playing games a couple times a week. Communication, I mean, you're learning how to talk with people in high pressure situations, learning how to deal with a coach. You're learning how to deal with players around you to accomplish the goals, and obviously teamwork. You're on a team, you're part of a team. You guys are working for a common goal. So along with that, I feel like character development is a large part of high school athletics. I think high school athletics should help you, to enhance and develop positive character traits for athletes because, like I said, for most, athletics are a time to build character and learn tools they'll use later in life because most won't go on to play, college or professional sports. So some of these character development traits include respect, teamwork, obviously academic success, public speaking skills, and then along with developing sport specific traits, at practice and with your coaches. So obviously, having the opportunity to have academic success, keeping high grades in the classroom, you're working on public speaking skills, through interviews, talking with coaches, talking in front of teammates. All those will help you off down the line. I think the role of an athletic director for a successful sports program, an AD must understand the dynamics of what it takes to run a successful program, be able to understand when a program is on the decline. And I think some of the things to look for, obviously, people start with wins and losses, but I think you got to understand it. Are the kids, the participation levels, are they dropping? Is the fan support, community support dropping? Is staff continuity? Um, all these are factors that, while they might not necessarily point out, something, they can all be used as kind of measuring sticks of why maybe the program isn't going in the direction you want. I mean, obviously, if you can't get the kids out to the program, you might want to look at kind of with the coach how players are being treated, how he determines who's on the team, how he determines playing time. Fan support, obviously, if the community and the fans aren't at the games, then maybe there's something you can do to obviously connect with those people. Because I mean, a lot of times in high school athletics, definitely I mean, you're raising pretty much all your money through the gate, so that's an important asset to have. And lastly, staff continuity. I mean, if you're running through assistant coaches year after year, at the end of the day, you might want to look and see that why is that happening, and why isn't the staff being able to stay stable and move forward. Having a successful coach, I mean, that is probably one of the most important factors of obviously a fielding competitive team. And I mean, a great coach, there's a lot of different capabilities, and there's a lot of different measuring sticks for that. But I just think a few of them would be: one, the ability to generate interest in the program. A lot of times you go to schools and they say, hey, we've got the athletes at the schools, they're just not playing or they play other sports. So if you have a coach that has the ability to, get a lot of kids excited, a lot of kids interested in coming out and playing, that's obviously going to enhance your program. Secondly, just gain community support. I mean, especially a lot of small school, a lot of athletics, they rely so heavily on the gate, community donating meals, time, efforts for things like that. So if you can have a coach that really interacts with the community, gets them excited, gets them coming to games, it makes them feel like they're a part of the team as well. That's huge. And lastly, you got to mold athletes into successful individuals. Like I said, a lot of times, people only see that as successful players, but there's not going to be a ton of athletes go on and play at the next level. So successful individuals are successful in the classroom. They're outstanding citizens. They're leaders. In the community. So that's what it's all about. And lastly, just help develop an overall winning attitude. I mean, that's just a huge thing for kids. Now, your assistant coaches, I mean, that's another key fact in having a great program. They obviously have to buy completely into head coach philosophy and become ambassadors of the program. Assistant coach has got to be an exact direction and a direct extension of what the head coach is doing and trying to accomplish. So that's important that everybody's on the same page, especially in high school. If you can have your assistant coach in the building, I mean, that can help you with recruiting players and keeping an eye on the current players and make sure academics are in order, behavior's in order, they're doing the right things and represent the program in the right way. And a great assistant coach obviously must have a strong work ethic and be great at teaching the fundamentals of the sport. I mean, even in high school athletics, there's a lot of long hours dealing with a lot of different issues with kids these days. And so, not only a great work ethic, but you've got to be great at teaching the fundamentals, because a lot of times in high school athletics, it's not necessarily the extreme X's and O's, but it's who's the best at fundamentals and not going to make mistakes. So you got to be great teachers of fundamentals. Lastly, you just got to make sure everyone is an investor, and what I mean by that is it's critical to make sure everyone involved and it's going to be a part of your program is on board and invested. I mean, this goes all the way down the line from ADs, principals, coaches, players, parents, and the community. Um, because at the end of the day, on your team, I mean, everybody plays a very vital role in accomplishing, the goals that you've set out, and everybody has a role that can, help the team in a positive manner. And so, for example, you got to let the parents know they play a vital role in volunteering time and efforts in regards to fundraising, facility development projects, and that's kind of their role on the team. You don't need a bunch of parent coaches. And so, lastly, here's just my bibliography, but like I said, this is just a couple, tips and ideas and philosophies that I think, it takes to run a successful program.